Okay, what we're looking at here is an asymmetrical capacitor. This fine wire on top being one plate, and this apron on the bottom being another. It's being tied down by these three threads, and one on the far side over here. And this is quite a heavy unit here. It's actually made from an aluminum pie pan that I cut a section out of near the bottom and ran it through a form so that it would have the vertical sides on it. And it's driven by a old computer monitor flyback and a jewel thief circuit, believe it or not, and a 2N3055 transistor, and about a 220 ohm resistor going to the base. The primary winding here is just 2 turns of wire, and the feedback winding is actually 4 turns with the 220 resistor on there. Anyway, this is quite a heavy unit, and of course I've got, coming from the positive terminal of the flyback, a very fine wire going to the fine wire on top of the capacitor, and a negative going to the apron. Now let's see what happens here. This is a 12-volt battery, little guy, and it accelerates upward pretty rapidly. It's got pretty good thrust. Anyway, I'm with this pulse DC high voltage. It has very little ionic wind. In fact, this is a piece of tissue paper here, and you can see it's really negligible what it's putting out in ionic wind there. You can't hardly feel anything. It's really negligible. Anyway, there's a good look of it all right there. And so this ionic wind thing causing these things to rise, I believe, is a bunch of BS. I mean, I think it's a lot of the similar things that might be built. It has there's a lot more ionic wind, but in this case, there is really nothing. You can put your bare hand under there and you can barely feel anything. You can see this is just a piece of toilet paper, and there's no movement at all on it. It's really negligible. Anyway, I think the round design is the way to go on this. Like I said, I cut it out of a pie tin, and it is a pretty heavy unit. And it's been broken a couple of times, so it's got a lot of glue on it, so it's very heavy actually. But I think my next project is going to be a 4-foot diameter one, and I'm going to try to get an onboard power supply and see how that works. Now this, I'm sure, could be improved with a 555 timer instead of a jewel thief circuit running it. So and I also curled over the top edge of the apron there, and I think that could even be abbreviated more, probably to a tubular type of design. But that'll be seen in my next design. I don't know how it'll work, but we'll try it. Anyway, you guys go to work and see what you can come up with. I'll hook this thing now. You can see it really does accelerate upward. Anyway, ciao.